Welcome back to Book 3, Chapter 13. Chapter 13, called 52, Part 2. He had been appraised that the final hour was 3, and he knew he would be summoned sometime earlier, inasmuch as the tumbrils jolted heavily and slowly through the streets. Therefore he resolved to keep 2 before his mind as the hour, and so to strengthen himself in the interval, that he might be able, after that time, to strengthen others. Walking regularly to and fro with his arms folded on his breast, a very different man from the prisoner who had walked to and fro at the force, he heard 1 struck away from him without surprise. The hour had measured like most other hours. Devotedly thankful to heaven for his recovered self-possession, he thought, "There is but another now," and turned to walk again. Footsteps in the stone passage outside the door. He stopped. This is a lovely line. It's supposed to remind us of the time when Laurie, Carton, Darnay, Lucy, Dr. Manette, Miss Pross all sat in the window watching the storm approach, and Lucy says that she has a fancy that you can hear all the footsteps, and that the echoes of the footsteps are all the footsteps that are to come by and by into her life. And Darnay answered, "Are they to come to all of us, Miss Manette, or just to you and your father?" And she says, "Well, I don't know. I told you it was just, something I imagined." And Carton responds, "I take them into mine. I ask no questions. I make no stipulations." And now we hear this footstep in the passageway, and it is Sidney Carton who's come to rescue Darnay. I love it. The key was put in the lock and turned. Before the door was opened, or as it opened, a man said in a low voice, in English, "He has never seen me here. I have kept out of his way. Go you in alone. I wait near. Lose no time." That's John Barsad talking to Sidney Carton. The door was quickly opened and closed, and they stood before him face to face, quiet, intent upon him, with the light of a smile on his features, and a cautionary finger on his lip. Sidney Carton. There was something so bright and remarkable in his look that for the first moment the prisoner misdoubted him to be an apparition of his own imagining. But he spoke, and it was his voice. He took the prisoner's hand, and it was his real grasp. "Of all the people on earth you least expected to see me," he said. "I could not believe it was you. I can scarcely believe it now. You are not—" The apprehension came suddenly into his mind. "The prisoner? No. I am accidentally possessed of a power over one of the keepers here, and in virtue of it, I stand before you. I come from her, your wife, dear Darnay." The prisoner wrung his hand. "I bring you a request from her." So Carton needs Darnay to obey him, but he knows that Darnay is too good of a man to allow Carton to take his place. So he tells Darnay, Carton tells Darnay that Lucy has asked him to do a favor. And the favor that's been asked is to switch boots and switch coats. So this way Carton will be able to stay in Darnay's place and look like Darnay. Darnay thinks for just a minute that Carton has this sort of ghoulish idea to take souvenirs from a dying man. But then Carton reassures him and asks Darnay to write a letter. The letter he's writing is actually to Lucy, but Darnay doesn't know that. "I bring you a request from her." "What is it?" "A most earnest, pressing, and emphatic entreaty addressed to you in the most pathetic tones of a voice so dear to you that you well remember." The prisoner turned his face partly aside. "You have no time to ask me why I bring it or what it means. I have no time to tell you. You must comply with it. Take off those boots you wear and draw on these of mine." There was a chair against the wall of the cell behind the prisoner. Carton, pressing forward, had already, with the speed of lightning, got him down into it and stood over him barefoot. "Draw on these boots of mine. Put your hands to them. Put your will to them. Quick! Carton, There is no escaping from this place. It can never be done. You will only die with me. It is madness. It would be madness if I asked you to escape, but do I? When I ask you to pass out of that door, tell me it is madness and remain here. Change this cravat for that of mine, that coat for this of mine. While you do it, let me take this ribbon from your hair and shake out your hair like this of mine. With wonderful quickness and with a strength both of will and action that appeared quite supernatural, he forced all of these changes upon him. The prisoner was like a young child in his head. Carton, dear Carton, it is madness. It cannot be accomplished. It never can be done. It has been attempted and has always failed. I implore you not to add your death to the bitterness of mine. Do I ask you, my dear Darnay, to pass the door? When I ask that, refuse. There are pen and ink and paper on this table. Is your hand steady enough to write? It was when you came in. Steady it again, and write what I shall dictate. Quick, quick, friend! Pressing his hand to his bewildered head, Darnay sat down at the table. Carton, with his right hand in his breast, stood close beside him. Write exactly what I speak. To whom do I address it? To no one. Carton still had his hand in his breast. Do I date it? No. The prisoner looked up at each question. Carton, standing over him, with a hand in his breast, looked down. There's a pocket right here, and Carton has in that pocket the chloroform that he purchased at the pharmacy. He needs Darnay to be looking down writing so that he can slip the chloroform over his mouth and nose, because again, Darnay's not going to let Carton change places with him. He's just too good a man. So what you see in yellow is what Carton is having Darnay write. He wants to put this letter in Darnay's breast pocket so that Lucy, when she finds it, won't cry for Carton. You remember, said Carton, dictating, the words that passed between us long ago. You will readily comprehend this when you see it. You do remember them, I know. It is not in your nature to forget them. And those words are, know that there is a man who would give his life to keep a life he loved his son. He was drawing his hand from his breast. The prisoner, chancing to look up in his hurried wonder as he wrote, the hand stopped, frozen upon something. Have you written forgotten them? Carton asked. I have. Is that a weapon in your hand? No, I'm not armed. What is in your hand? You shall know directly. Write on. There are but a few words more. Dictated down. I am thankful that the time has come when I can prove them. That I do so is no subject for regret or grief. As he said these words, with his eyes fixed on the writer, his hand slowly and softly moved down to close the writer's face. The pen dropped from Darnay's fingers on the table, and he looked about him vacantly. What vapor is that? He asked. Vapor? Something that's close to you. I am conscious of nothing. There can be nothing here. Take up the pen and finish. Hurry! Hurry! As if his memory were impaired or his faculties disordered, the prisoner made an effort to rally his attention. As he looked at Carton, with clouded eyes and an altered manner of breathing, Carton, his hand again in his breast, looked steadily at him. Hurry! Hurry! The prisoner bent over the paper once more. If it had been otherwise, Carton's hand again watchfully and softly stealing down. I never should have used the longer opportunity. If it had been otherwise, the hand was at the prisoner's face. I should have had so much the more to answer for. If it had been otherwise. Carton looked at the pen and saw it was trailing off into unintelligible signs. Carton's hand moved back to his breast once more. The prisoner sprang up with a reproachful look, but Carton's hand was close and firm at his nostrils, and Carton's left arm caught him round the waist. For a few seconds he faintly struggled with the man who had come to lay down his life for him. But within a minute or so, he was stretched insensible on the ground. Quickly, but with the hands true to the purpose of his heart, As his heart was, Carton dressed himself in the clothes the prisoner had laid aside, combed back his hair, and tied it with a ribbon the prisoner had worn. Then he softly called, "Enter there, come in!" And the spy, Jean Barsad, presented himself. "You see," said Carton, looking up as he kneeled on one knee beside the insensible figure, putting the paper at his breast, "is your hazard very great?" "Mr. Carton," the spy answered with a timid snap of his fingers, "my hazard is not that. In the thick of business here, if you are true to the whole of your bargain—" "Don't fear me. I will be true to the death." "You must be, Mr. Carton, if the tale of 52 is to be right. Being made right by you in that dress, I shall have no fear." "Have no fear. I shall soon be out of the way of harming you, and the rest will soon be far from here, please God. Now, get assistance and take me to the cottage." "You?" the spy asked nervously. "Him, man, with whom I have exchanged. You go out of the gate by which you brought me in." "Of course. I was weak and faint when you brought me in, and I am fainter now you take me out. The parting interview has overpowered me. Such a thing has happened here often, and too often. Your life is in your own hands. Quick, call assistance." "You swear not to betray me?" said the spy, trembling as he paused for a last moment. "Man, returned Carton, stamping his foot. "Have I sworn by no solemn vow already to go through with this, that you waste the precious moments now? Take him yourself to the courtyard you know of, place him in the carriage, show him yourself to Mr. Lorry, tell him yourself to give him no restorative but air, and to remember my words of last night, and his promise of last night, and drive away." The words Carton had said the night before to Mr. Lorry were, "Wait until my place is filled in the carriage." Not wait until I come to the carriage, but wait until my place is filled, and Lorry will understand what that means when he sees Darnay at the carriage. The spy withdrew, and Carton seated himself at the table, resting his forehead on his hand. The spy returned immediately with 2 men. "How then," said one of them, contemplating the fallen figure, "so afflicted to find his friend has drawn a prize in the lottery of Saint-Guillotine. A dear patriot, he hardly had been more afflicted if an aristocrat had drawn a blank." They placed it on a litter they had brought to the door, and bent to carry it away. "The time is short, gentlemen," said the spy in a low voice. "I know it well," answered Carton. "Be careful, my friend, I entreat you, and leave me. And then, my children, lift him, come away." And that ends part 2.